I'm scared, Dada.
Namaskar, everybody. Could everybody please mute their microphones if they're not muted? They're supposed to be muted, but it's not working. So just click on participants. You'll find your name there. Please click on the mute button by your name. Unless, in fact, that's the default. It's supposed to be everybody muted automatically, but it's not. Because we have 120 people coming and we can't have all the microphones on. We're going to start with a little kid, huh? Namaskar, everybody. Well, this is a remarkable moment, especially for those of us who've been organizing this for the last few weeks. We have now 56 people here and we're expecting about 130. So welcome everybody and to the Planetary Leadership Training. I want to very briefly introduce this, but then we're going to start with a few practical logistics because this is quite a technical challenge for all of us, I think. We have probably 130 people joining us today, and we are going to be having simultaneous translation, hopefully, into at least 3, possibly 4 languages. So quite a few of you I know don't understand English, so we're trying to accommodate that. And I'm going to ask one of our technical support team to explain that. Uh, okay. So firstly, let me give you the overview. This is going for 2 months, as you know. We have programs 6 days a week, usually for 2.5 hours. Today will be about that long. But today we're not really having a class. It's going to be all about meeting one another, figuring out the logistics and technical issues. I'm already seeing one of our translators can't get access, so that's going to help. And that's for Portuguese. I think we have 2 translators in Portuguese. I hope we do. The languages we're going to be accommodating, at least as far as I know, are Portuguese, Vietnamese, and Indonesian. And you've been sent instructions in those languages, I hope, on how to get access and connect with your translator. So you're hearing that person rather than me, because I only speak English and music. I think I'll just give you the quick outline for today. It's now, well, I'm talking in local time. I'm in California. Oh, by the way, my name's Dada Nabhaniilananda. I'm in California right now. We have a big team supporting this. We have 4 people on tech support. We have about 18 teachers and 2 or 3 other logistics people, and a bunch of translators. So it's a big effort, and I want to thank everybody for the whole incredible amount of work that's gone into this. And so today we will start with, let me just look at the schedule. Bear in mind that some of us haven't had much sleep lately, so don't expect me to be too sharp. Okay. All right. So we'll have we'll have a few minutes on logistics. Then we're going to introduce all of the trainers, all of those who are present. Not everybody can join us. Then we'll have Dharma Chakra. So we'll do Kirtan meditation. And we can't sing collectively through this Zoom medium. It sounds terrible. So that's why everybody's microphones are off by default. So we'll hear some recorded kirtan, and the mantras for Dhamma Chakra will be played through the system. Then we will, at the end of Dhamma Chakra, we'll have a breakout group where we'll break you into groups. You'll be put into, hopefully, local groups. So if you're from Brazil, you'll be with people from Brazil. If you're from Indonesia, you'll be with people from Indonesia, etc. That'll be just for 15 minutes. Then we'll come back together for a little connecting exercise, a kind of global connecting exercise led by Vishala. Then we're going to have all the questions and the run through on how all of this is going to work, and the overview of the whole program for the next 2 months. And then we're going to have some final a little connecting exercise, probably not the way we planned it because we don't think it's going to work. and then I think at the end everybody will get to share one word with everybody else, because by that stage, now there are 70 of us, by that stage there'll be over 100 of us. So we're hoping that everybody will get a chance to at least give us one word to express what they are hoping to get from this training, and that'll be kind of the end. And I'm going to hand you over to Chirismita, who's our tech support person today, to explain a few logistics for this session.
Namaskar.
Namaskar, Chirismita. Tell us where you are.
So I'm in Seattle, Washington. It's 6 a.m. here. So I'm happy to be joining all of you today. I will be your point person for today for any tech questions or logistical questions. I am the meeting host, so I will be the ones unmuting you guys. I think the main point for today is you will all be muted throughout the whole session, just so that we can minimize any noise conflict. So if you do have a question, there's reactions at the bottom of the screen, or I think in your, as a participant, you're able to go into the participants folder and raise your hand. And using that function, I can call on you and unmute your mic so you can speak. Another thing, there is again that interpretation functionality. So on the bottom bar, it should say interpretation. Are you all able to see that?
Please use chat for communications. Don't try and unmute your mics. Otherwise it's chaos.
Yes. Oh.
If you look at the bottom, there should be, well, depending on your screen, you should be able to see the little chat button, and that way you can choose who you're communicating with, or you can communicate with everybody through the chat.
Yes. The interpreter should be available. I'm just trying to see. Are they down available now?
Okay, yeah. 4 languages. Oh, Korean's available. I didn't even know that. Oh, they're using, okay, it's a little confusing.
Yes. So Korean actually represents Vietnamese. So if you would like the Vietnamese translation, you'll actually have to use the Korean icon for that. And then same thing.
Explaining that in English, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, and then there's another one as well that is not quite as it seems.
Đối với những người nói tiếng Việt thì mình sẽ bấm vào cái icon Korean mọi người nha. Đó là cái icon để mà mình phiên dịch tiếng Việt.
Thank you, Lalita. So Lalita is our Vietnamese translator for the Vietnamese group. She's just explaining in Vietnamese for them.
And then the second one is Japanese will be displayed as the name for Indonesian. So if you'd like the Indonesian interpretation, that will be available under Japanese. So throughout, if you have any questions about that, you can message me individually. I'll put tech next to my name in case you forget it. So if you have any questions throughout, you can message me or message.
Nếu như mà mọi người có câu hỏi gì thì mà về cái phần technology, về cái phần công nghệ hoặc là cái kỹ thuật đó, mọi người có thể hỏi trực tiếp cái đội hỗ trợ về công nghệ hoặc là kỹ thuật mọi người nha.
There we go. I think now everyone should be muted. Let's see. What else? Again, yes. So throughout, if you have any questions or comments for Dada or anything, use the chat functionality and then raise your hand, and then we'll find a time to call on everyone and get the questions answered. Does anyone have any questions as of right now? No? So if you could all rename your Zoom IDs and put your country code and then also your spiritual name, that'd be great. Should it be a... You can do that if you click on if you go to your screen, and then in the top right corner, there should be ... and it should give you the option to rename your profile. So I'm in the USA. Oh,
Sorry, I was muted. If you can do what Trismita just explained with your name, but put where you are and then your name.
Yeah.
That will really help.
My name is a good format for it.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Anything more on logistics for now, Lalita? Trismita?
Not that I can think of. I can see that the Portuguese translator is having trouble logging in. There's not a waiting room, so people shouldn't be stopped at the entrance. But
she couldn't log on at all.
Oh.
She messaged me separately.
Okay.
So maybe you can, somebody can communicate with her about that, but not me. Okay.
Okay.
So is that all the logistics for now?
Yes, that's everything.
Okay, we're going to go into this whole practical thing and be able to answer your questions later on after Dhamma Chakra, further on. That's good. So hopefully that means, I don't know whether you were getting Portuguese translation at the moment because of that issue. So it's a bit of a glitch, especially because we have a lot of Brazilians with us. Just to give you a quick overview, we have, I mentioned some countries. We also have people joining us from Albania, from Taiwan, from, I think, maybe Finland, definitely Italy, USA, of course, Canada, Mexico, and a bunch of other countries. So it really is a planetary program. I want to ask Dada Nabhaniilananda, who has done an amazing amount of work on this, to help me introduce our teachers. That's our kind of next stage. So some of our trainers are here. Didi, I'm going to start with Acharya Dhyanesh, because he's right there. Dhyanesh, I can unmute you. Would you like to introduce yourself? Now, this is going to be real brief, like think 1 minute, because there are a bunch of you.
Namaskar. I don't know what else to say.
Tell us where you are, and what you'll be teaching us.
Oh, well, my name is Dhyanesh, and the first class will be this Sunday. We're going to go over Jama Niyama, the basic code of ethics, how to live our lives. And with that, I'm going to do the yantra, our pratik. And we'll get into a few other things, which should be really interesting.
And Dhyanesh is an amazing asana teacher. You'll also be leading the asanas, won't you?
Right, yeah, we'll do asanas. We'll have a great time.
And he's been teaching a very big asana group at the University of Austin for how many years? Every week.
University of Texas since 1985, once a week, every week since 1985.
So you should be quite good at it by now.
Yeah, it's been wonderful.
Okay, thank you so much.
Right.
I'm going to mute you again now. Okay, I'm looking for teachers, and I'm not going to find them unless you have your name here. Didi Madhupurna, please help me. If you find any, we got this giant list. I'm scrolling down looking for more of our teachers. I'm seeing lots of people. Oh, here we go. Dada Nabhaniilananda, please introduce yourself. Tell us where you are.
You just said who I was.
Oh, sorry. Well, tell us, pronounce it properly.
I'm originally from the US and now in Portugal at the Ananda Kalyani Master Unit. And I will be sharing some basics about Prout and about our first lesson of meditation, Ishvara Pranidhana, and some satsang as well.
Thank you so much. Dada Ranjitananda, please join us.
Namaskar. I'm Dada Ranjitananda. I'm now at the Ananda Viplava Master Unit in New York State. And I will be teaching on Thursdays, every Thursday actually. And I will give you a course on the Ananda Marga elementary philosophy.
Thank you very much. That's
so. I speak Portuguese also.
Oh yeah, you're also doing Portuguese?
Sou Dada Ranjitananda, estou aqui na Master Unit Ananda Viplava, nos Estados Unidos, no estado de Nova York. Eu vou dar aula todas as quintas-feiras. e vou falar sobre a filosofia básica da Ananda Marga. Então, não perderem a classe da quinta-feira.
Thank you so much. That's fantastic. Vishala, please introduce yourself and tell us what you're doing. And I know you're going to be leading us in an exercise today also, right?
Yes, namaskar. I'm Vishala, and I live in Connecticut, in the United States, which is people know is near New York. I grew up in New York. I'm going to be doing some classes on sort of the connection between our social emotional intelligence and spirituality. So they'll be mostly experiential. I'm going to do 1 or 2 classes in that. So that's my kind of area of expertise.
Thank you so much. And a little bit later today, Vishala will lead us in a really lovely exercise, a group exercise. I just lost her. Where are you? Oh, here you are. Okay. Rudrani, please introduce yourself.
Namaskar. I'm Rudrani. I live in Asheville, North Carolina in the United States. And I'm going to be giving some classes on Baba's life and the history of Ananda Marga.
And who is with you?
Okay, here we go.
Namaskar, Karuna.
Namaskar.
Very good. Fantastic.
That's my daughter, Karuna.
Welcome. I'm trying to find more about teachers. Now we have 80 people, so it's getting more difficult.
Leela's there, and
but I've got to find her. Didi Madhupurna, if you can try and find Leela for me, that would be great. Oh, I got you. Okay, Leela.
Hey, namaskar.
Namaskar.
Yes. So really nice to see everyone. I'm really inspired to see some familiar faces and then new faces. Looking forward to getting to know you. I'm going to lead a workshop on conflict resolution, which I'm excited about. I feel that, hey, how many of you never have conflict? Most of us have some kind of conflict, and it's really helpful to have techniques and ideas for us. Of course, in different cultures, we manage conflict differently. So what this will be looking at is techniques that are universal that we can use across cultural boundaries to help create deep harmony, not just skirting over conflict, but learning how to embrace conflict and make it something really positive for us, learn from it and move forward from it. So really looking forward to working with you all. That will be next Thursday, that class on conflict resolution. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Thank you so much. And most of our teachers are not here actually because they don't have to be. It's optional. But I would like Didi and Madhupurna to introduce yourself, please. I know you're also interpreting. I'm not sure how this is going to work. Didi and Madhupurna, are you able to join us? I know you're in the Indonesian language group, so I'm not sure whether you're able to come in to the English language group. So we're learning. You might have noticed this has never been done before, and there you are. Hey, namaskar. Great. We can't hear you, Didi. Not hearing. I think it's because you're not working. I think I don't know exactly how this works, but I think
you're gonna have to turn off the interpretation feature on your phone, so you can turn it off temporarily.
He's saying it's off.
It's off, but it's not working. Okay, we definitely need to solve this a bit later because Didi's going to be introducing the program later on a little bit. But for now, I'm afraid that we can't hear Didi.
Japanese.
Which is a pity, but we will hear from her later on when we've solved that problem. And I'm sure that...
Oh,
what's that? Okay, I'm just... If you are one of our trainers and you haven't been called on, can you please raise your hand? In fact, yeah, that I should have thought of that earlier, but I don't think there's anyone else here. There's no one I can find in our big list. All right. So next on our schedule, and because we don't have as many teachers as I thought we would have, we're ahead of schedule, which is super unusual in Ananda Marga. So I think we're going to go to Dhamma. So I'm going to hand you over to, well, Chirsmita's handling the all the logistics of the sound. So we're going to have Dhamma together. All right. So you'll hear the mantras. Again, make sure your microphones are muted so that we don't get feedback. I'm muting some of them myself if they're not muted, and I'll mute my own in a second. And are you all set? Cheers. So give me a moment. So just want to tell you, Chirsmita, Advaita said she's able to join by phone, but I don't know whether that's going to enable her to use the translation.
Can you, if you have her phone number, can you give it to me in the chat and then I will try to contact her?
Okay. Do you want to start the Dhammachakra
Yep.
things, and we'll do that in the background when we're supposed to be participating in Dhammachakra.
Yes.
Thank you. Namaskar and Dhammachakra.
Bhavanam Kevalam Bhavanam Kevalam Bhavanam Kevalam Bhavanam Kevalam Bhavanam Kevalam Bhavanam Kevalam Baba Shuddham Niravasham Nirakaram Niranjanam Nityabodham Chidanandam Guru Brahma Namamyaham. Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Jena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Agyanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurudeva Maheshwara Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Jena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Agyanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurudeva Maheshwara Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Jena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Agyanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurudeva Maheshwara Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dravyam Jagat Guru Tuvyamiva Samarpaye.
Yours should be a glorious march towards the supreme goal. And you should remember that you are not to pause a moment during this movement. The entire human society is anxiously waiting for you, for your service. You will have to shoulder a great responsibility for this suffering humanity. You know that humanity is bleeding and you will have to save it. You should remember that if you do not help humanity, who else will come and shoulder that responsibility? It's you. You are to do everything. You are the torch bearers of human civilization. You are the pioneers of the human march. You are the vanguards of the new civilization. The flame of a lamp lights up countless lamps. The touch of a great personality wakes up innumerable sleeping hearts. In the same way, the eternal glow of boundless élan vital of cosmic consciousness has been illuminating the life lamp of universal humanism since time immemorial, is illuminating it, and will do so in future even more intensely. That is why I say the future of the human race is not dark. Rather, it is strikingly resplendent. So proceed on, ignoring the frown of darkness. This is one of probably my favorite Baba quote from his New Year's message, I believe it was, in 1978, the last one, the last piece. Yeah, New Year's 1978. So we have a remarkable collection of people here. That's all of you. And we're now going to get a chance to connect with one another in small groups and meet people from our own region or country, but you may or may not know them because some of these countries and regions are very large and not everybody knows one another. So I just want to check with you, Chirismita, how are we with that? Are we ready to go into our breakup group?
If everyone could make sure that their country first couple letters are in front of their name, that would make the process a lot smoother.
So please go to your names, go to the participants list, click on that at the bottom if you haven't done already, find your name on the list and click on that, and then you can change your name and put in the front the country that you're from. Okay, so you can see Trismita has that USA and then her name. So the more you can do that, the better. That's great. Welcome, Kamaleshwar. Thank you. Later on, I'd love you to introduce yourself. And also, I think Acharya Vishwamitra is with us. So some of our teachers have arrived. Oh man, look, now I'm seeing it. So many from Brazil. Wow. And Canada, we have one. And oh, the Brazilians. Wow. And then USA, quite a few. Haiti, Indonesia, India, Italy, lots of Italians, Vietnam, Mexico, quite a few from Mexico, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then Puerto Rico, if I'm doing that right. Taiwan, USA, a lot of USA. Okay. then Vietnam, and okay. How are you going there, Priyanka?
We're working on it.
Hey.
It'll take another 1 to 2 minutes.
Okay, bear with us. Well, we just, and some of you, I see we have a few more people have arrived. Welcome. In a few minutes, we're going to break into groups. This is something we've not actually done before, especially with the language groups. But we are attempting to do something truly planetary, managing 4 or 5 languages at once, and nearly 90, actually 90 people from around the world, because some of you are in little groups, 2 or 3, so it says 86, but it's actually more. While we're waiting, Priyanka, I'm going to actually ask Acharya Kamaleshwar to introduce himself. Kamaleshwar, could you just, I think I have to unmute you. Give me a moment. Because I don't think you can do that. Okay. Yeah, please introduce yourself. Tell us what you'll be teaching us. Tell us where you are.
Namaskar to everybody. I'm so
Namaskar.
happy to see so many young faces around the world. Really great job you did all together to join. My name is Kamaleshwar. I'm from Italy. North Italy. I'm 56. Have 2 kids. They're big now, 15 and 18. Hopefully they will join the next planetary session in training. I'm initiated by Dada Nabhaniilananda.
Oh, yeah.
33 years ago. I was very lucky to have seen Baba physically, 87. I got PC, 89 with him. And I worked as LFT 3.5 years. And now I have been in the organization now, always a little bit busy, trying to do a lot of prachar. And I'm happy that 4 Italians have joined this training. They are going to be LFT for 1 year. Bhakti Devi, Amristara, and then we have also Karuna Mai there. And one brother, Asutosh, he's not here. He couldn't, he was with the doctor. So, but he will join soon. What to say, I'm a little bit jealous, you know. I'm 56. I would like to be them I would like to be 18 and joining your training now. I don't know what I'm going to talk with you regarding. I will just be open, anything they will give me, and I'm ready to help anybody.
Thank you so much, and I'm really lovely to have you join us. And also, your wife Krishna Priya, she's also an Acharya, right?
Let's say she's Tatvika now, and she's on the way to become Acharya too. Yeah.
Okay, and she's a wonderful translator. She translated she translated my book into Italian. Thank you. Lovely to have you join us. I would like, since we are just waiting for the groups to join, I'd love Acharya Vishwamitra to introduce yourself, please, and just tell us briefly what you're going to be teaching us.
Namaskar. Am I unmuted?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Well, I was initiated in 1971, so I'm one of the old timers.
The veteran.
I work a lot with Guruku, the neo-humanist education, and I'm going to be offering a program on creating a neo-humanist society to everyone. I'm looking forward very much to meeting you and working with you. So thank you, Dada, for organizing this wonderful planetary leadership training. Namaskar.
Thank you so much for joining us and being one incredible group of teachers. I just want to see if any of other of our teachers have arrived. If you have, let me know. Let me see. I don't think so. If you are one of our trainers and you haven't been called on to introduce yourself, please raise your hand so I can find you in this big list of, now we've got 88, almost 90 people. Okay, I think that's all. Okay, how are you faring there with this cheers meeting? What's the update?
just about ready.
I, I want to thank. While I've got you here, we're gonna do this properly later. But I want to thank our tech support team. They're gonna give you a bit more of a bit more guidance later, but they've been incredible. And then we also had this amazing translation team, but they're trying to help the translators to each connect with their groups. Okay.
Okay. We put the people that don't have countries in front of their names in miscellaneous groups, but the rest are in groups of their country.
So
okay.
You should all be invited to join a room right now. So, go ahead. Okay, and then
home with Didi Mohavita. So it's so glad to join these trainings, and maybe somebody will say something.
Namaskar, everybody. Welcome back. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. And I was just looking at the groups. Can we just, well, I saw there's a big group from Brazil, I think about 15 of you, and a lot of you in Vietnam, a lot of you from Indonesia. There's a lot, well, the USA were all mixed up, and there's quite a few Mexicans, Italians. You had your own group. I know you Italians all know each other already anyway, but it's, we'll have a chance each week during the program to have different kinds of sharing sessions, and you'll really get a chance to meet people from different countries, not just your own place. But that's going to be complicated to organize because of all the languages, but we're going to figure out how to do that. Aren't we, Charismita? So we're working on that. Okay, I want to go to the next piece. One moment. I've got to okay, we're going to have a group exercise, a kind of connecting exercise from Vishala. Vishala, are you there? And Charismita, can you unmute her, please? Linda, Vishala, Linda, I'll try and find you also.
I got it. I'm unmuted.
Okay. Thank you, Vishala. So yeah, Vishala, please take it away.
Okay. So I saw in my small group in the US, a group, that we were beginning to sort of think about how are we creating this group? How are we creating this container of this wonderful, exciting, you know, dynamic container of learning and growing and sharing spiritually together. And so I want to do a little exercise that I did. I was at a global conference last week from people from all over the world, and someone did this, and I've adapted it a little bit for us. So this is about a little exercise about creating our container. So the best for this exercise, if you could have your video up, that's great. And if you can't, that's okay too. So I'd like everyone to take their hands and put them on the screen like this. So that it looks like on the screen like this. So it looks like we're holding each other's hands, you know? So put them, yeah, there we go. We're all kind of holding each other's hands here.
Oh, okay.
And this is the container that we are creating with each other. Oh, I like Charismita. We have a double hand holding here. And I want us to all just take a breath. Because we're all a part of this. We all belong to this container of learning, this container of growing. And we all bring something special of ourselves into this container. So we're bringing something special from our families and our family systems. And we're bringing something very special also from our culture and our countries into this container. And we're also bringing something from our spiritual resources and connections into this container. So I'd like us to just take one moment and think about what do I bring to this container to make it a flexible, beautiful container of belonging and inclusion and love and community. Whether we're a brand new student that's been initiated, not even been initiated, or someone who's been in it, you know, been with this for a very long time. We all have something very special to bring. So let's just take a moment and think about, what am I bringing into this container? Feel it, sense it. As we're breathing together. Can be I'm bringing love, a curiosity, non-judgment. Could be that I'm bringing curiosity. It could be that I'm bringing deep listening. And look at each other. Go to gallery view and kind of look at each other. Look at everyone here. We're all here together. Take a look. Take a look around. And give everyone your namaskar. And now I thought it would be really nice if in the chat that you wrote, what are you bringing to add to the container? Because we don't have time to unmute and have everyone say it. But if everyone writes in the chat, and it can be in your native language, doesn't have to be in English. Yes, and then we're seeing, yes. And we can see everybody's. Beautiful, beautiful things. What an amazing container that we're creating here for this venture and adventure that we're being part of. And if you're missing it on your screen, you can also go in your chat and just scroll down and see all the beautiful things people are writing. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for your bringing yourself into this container. Namaskar. Oh, more is coming. And I'm hoping Chismatayer's finding a way to capture this and save this. So we know it. Yeah. It's going to be a great adventure, Dada, and Dee Dee's, and everyone. Okay, Dada, I'm going to turn it over to you. And if people, oh, we have more. Maybe I'm being very.
This is amazing.
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
It's really great. It's beautiful to read this this silly chat. I mean, just reading the chat is remarkable. Wow. Zoom skills. Cheers, Peter. You're great. It's funny. Thank you so much, Vishala, for introducing us to that. I'm going to use that exercise again somewhere. That's so simple, but it really enables us to connect in a beautiful way with a big group like this. That's great, fantastic. Thank you. Comedy, we get some. We're ending on the laughter. That's perfect. You're welcome to continue writing in that as you like, but let's try and focus a little. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is really give you a chance to know what's going to happen and how it's going to work. So there's two pieces to this. One is the program itself and what's going to be happening over the next 2 months. We have a question there. And I'll ask this to everyone. Oh, cheers, Peter, why don't you stay?
We just wanted to double check that everyone's able to hear their translation well. Any problems with that?
Okay, but you're saying that in English, so that's not really going
Very helpful. Yeah.
If translators could.
Okay. Okay, so I think okay, we're having problems. The Chinese, but it doesn't work.
Okay.
Okay, Lalita's saying she's asking Vietnamese. I think the Vietnamese might be working. The Portuguese is not, but we had problems early on with our translator getting connected. You know, I just want to give you all a little perspective on this. Didi Ananda Madhupurna has been working day and night to make this happen. I want to offer special thanks to her. She's been amazing. This could not possibly have happened without her. And like a few days ago, she and I have been talking about this like every day for the last couple of weeks, but the group of us brought this all together in about 3, maybe 4 weeks. And it's been quite a learning experience. Oh, that's great. Advaita is translating now. Thank you. That would be in Portuguese. For the Brazilians and I don't know if we have any actual Portuguese. Now the Portuguese version's working. Wonderful. That is great. And now I'm seeing that in Portuguese. Okay, this is great. So about I think it was a week ago, Didi and I were saying, okay, how many people are we going to get to join this? And at that time we had, I think 10 or something. And I was thinking, well, I'm always too optimistic. So I'm thinking maybe we'll have, so we said, we're going to make a bet, all right? So I said, okay, 32. I'll say 32. And Didi says, no, I bet 100. Okay. And now we have actually registered, we have 120. Not everybody's been able to join, but we've had up to 90 joining, but some of you are in groups. So our little group, in our breakout group, one person was actually 5 people. They're all at our children's home in Bali, and don't get me started, that's one of my favorite places in the world. There are 80 children there. They are the happiest children I've ever seen in my life. They all get up at 4:30 and sing and meditate and do yoga, and they're amazing. So some of them are now young adults, and 5 of them have joined us. So 89 doesn't mean just 89, it's over 100. And of course, you can see right there, Priyanka and her sister, Chirismita, with us. And they are, of course, cannot hear Vietnamese, or they're fielding all the problems. So this tech team is what makes this even remotely possible. We have 4 people in our tech team. I would like you all to briefly introduce yourselves. I don't know if Rakesh is with us. Actually, Rakesh is he's sort of put together the tech team and then created this overnight, created this incredible manual, a technical manual. I think he must have worked all day on it. but we have his team, Priyanka and Chursmita, and also Min. So Min, if you're with us, can you, I don't know if you can unmute yourself. Let me see if I can find you. Min is in the in San Francisco Bay Area, where I am, and USA. I'm not finding Min.
Hey,
I'm unmuted now.
Ah, there you are. So please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what people need to know about the technology, just briefly.
I haven't started, actually I'm gonna be helping for tech support for Wednesday and Thursday. I was checking what things would be like for the class, but yeah. Anyway, I'll check out all the details again because we see a few problems today. So yeah, I'll think about it too.
Thank you so much for helping. So Min is, I think he'll have no problem with this. He's one of those geniuses working at Google on security for the whole system of Google. So figuring this out should be kind of child's play for him. Okay, thank you so much, Min. Cheers, Peter and Priyanka, you wanted to say something about the tech stuff? I'd like you can go into a bit of detail, just giving people the information they might need. Because Rakesh is not here. He was going to do this, so it's you guys.
Yes, I'm Priyanka.
I'm Chursmita.
And
I always mix them up. I've been confusing their names for the last 15 years.
I've been Margie since 1996.
And I've been a Margie since 2000.
When you were born, but this is when you were born.
Right now we're both in Seattle, Washington, but I live in Los Angeles.
And I live in Boston, Massachusetts.
And we just want to support Dada Nabha in this great initiative and all the other acharyas that are working to put this together. It's really exciting. And we'll be there to support via any issues via Zoom. And specifically what we're doing here is we're moderating the breakout rooms, polling, which we might use later on, interpretation, reactions. We are watching over the chat to see if any questions pop up so that we can flag them. We're also trying to figure out how to put audio and video together in a comprehensible way that's good quality. So hopefully this first few lessons might be a little bit of a learning process, and then we'll get it to a great process later on.
We'll also share WhatsApp information. So during the class, if you need any support and you're not able to reach us via the chat, you can WhatsApp us or email. So we'll get that out to you sometime today.
Yeah. And then the instructors and the participants, we do have some resources available to learn any of the specific Zoom functionality. So Rakesh has put together some PowerPoints and videos to go walk through Zoom. So if you need help getting access to those, let us know and we'll point you in the right direction.
Okay, a couple of just requests in the chat. The spotlight is supposed to come automatically on whoever's speaking, but that's not always working. I'm not sure why.
If you're in gallery view, then it won't shine it on, it won't spotlight the speaker view. But if you are in participant/speaker view, then it should automatically spotlight the speaker.
Okay, but that's up to the individual depending on their setting. Okay,
yes.
Thank you. Also, a request from one of the translators. We need to speak slowly because they're trying to translate in real time simultaneously. And this is actually I only speak English well, I count music as my second language, but not everybody understands it. But yeah, you can imagine translating in real time is not easy. It's so if we can speak more slowly, that's good. We are recording all the sessions. That's actually automatic. So any of you who would like to rewatch this, and those, if you have to leave early or anything, we will give you all access to the recordings later. So you can catch up if you miss anything. I wanted, see, I'm speaking, but I'm not coming in the spotlight. I don't know why. Oh, wait on a second. Cancel the spotlight video. I don't know what that means. What's that better? Now I'm in the spotlight. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, there was a button there I'd never seen before. So one of the things I've been thinking about is, you know, I often ask myself, why is this happening? Whether it's what's happening to me in my life, or in this case, what's happening to many, many people all around the world right now with this pandemic. And there are many discussions about that. What's the kind of higher purpose of this? What's the cosmic intention? What can we learn from this? How can we grow from this? There are many answers to that. But one of them, and it seems a little mundane, one of the things I see that we can learn from this is how to connect through technology. So I would think that by the end of this 2 months, not just our wonderful tech support team, but all of us will be somewhat expert in using Zoom and in communicating to a large group all across the world. So that's a skill that we'll go forward with, and this is not going to stop. We're going to be having global programs like this more and more in all different, and maybe regional or country-wise, but we're learning a whole new skill set, which is going to be really valuable for us, I think, in the future. It'll help us to come together as a community and as a movement and as like a spiritual mission. So I think it's extremely important, actually. I know it's kind of just technology, but it's very powerful, and we're beginning to learn that. Anything more you want to tell them about the technology before I go on to the next piece, Chirismita or Priyanka?
No, I think just continue to ask your questions in the chat, and we'll try to solve the problems as they arise.
Great. So that's, and what I want to say about the technology is, if you have any problems, don't ask me about it.
I do suggest, though, maybe to view the participants, the slide that Rakesh sent out. So maybe you can problem solve problems yourself as we get more used to the Zoom, just so that the time that it might take for us to come and help you is shortened, and you can figure it out yourself. So, yeah.
Great. We're all going to learn. Very good.
Yes.
So one thing we are doing is we've created one place. It's a folder on Google Drive, and that's got a number of subfolders. And you'll be given access to that in the next day or two. So that'll go to all students. And in there you will find the technology guide, the Zoom guide that Chirismita referred to, or was it you? I think it was Chirismita. So Rakesh put together this amazing, sort of very simple guide to how to use Zoom. Oh, you're showing it to us. Okay, thank you. This is our, oh, there it is. Yeah, let's have a look. Just give them a quick look at it. We don't know to go into detail.
So here's the folder. And then within it, there's a couple different subfolders. The technical support staff has the training PowerPoint. So this has a bunch of really good information. As it loads.
You're just getting the picture, or you're not getting the actual thing?
It's loading up.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is all the content it has, and then most problems will have a simple fix that was probably mentioned in here.
Yeah, Rakesh did a pretty good job capturing all the steps.
So it has a content on all the functions we're going to be using. So it's helpful to take a look, I think, at everything it says. Yeah. But
Yeah, this is. I mean, this is really fairly detailed. That you don't need to know all this, but if you do have a particular problem, you can just go to the right place in the menu, and the menu is live. So those are live links, right?
They're not.
Oh, they're not. Okay.
Oh, they are. They are. Yes, they're.
Yeah, I thought they were.
Yep.
So you can just jump straight to that topic. There's a simple explanation of how it works. So this will help us all to become more proficient in this. If you need to go in depth, but this is really designed for the tech support people. You don't have to learn that stuff, but if you want to, it's there. So that is one of the resources you'll get access to. Can you share that screen again? Share screen of the folder, the big folder.
Yes.
I just want to show them the other content that will be there. So you have to go back one and another one. If you click out of that, you have to close that.
So it's just a little slow.
Yeah, your connection's a little slow, huh? Okay, well, I'll just tell you what's in there. That's your own Google Drive. So in there, we're going to be putting documents that you might need from the teachers. So for example, if you're one of the teachers and you want your students to have access to an article or a video or something that they can watch before your class or after your class, all that content will be in there as well. So it's all sort of teachers' resources that they want to share with the students. There'll be information in there. There'll be the whole schedule. In fact, the schedule for May is in there already, I think.
Here it is. So the course schedule is here.
Okay, you want to share that?
Yep.
Except that it's not in there.
It is not.
I haven't added it yet. Okay, it will be. Then there's all the music. So you're hearing the Dhammachakra. There's our list of students that needs to be updated probably because that was done last night. Content from trainers, people, so you can connect with other people. So all those things. So you'll be able to go and use all of those things. I'm afraid it's all in English, so you might have to depend on your translator to help you with that. Yeah. Eventually, we're going to be doing this in different languages. Yes, Didi Madhupurna has sent the schedule to everybody. That's true. But, you know, you're getting a lot of things in your email. We want to have everything in one place where you can find it easily without having to search through all your emails from the last month or two. So we're bringing it all into that one place. So that's one kind of technical, logistical thing. I want to know if... Sorry?
Is that shared with them already or?
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay. We want to actually put a bit more content in there and we'll share it today or tomorrow. Didi and Nanda Madhupurna, were you able to figure out how to speak to us through the main group, not just your translation group? Can you tell me in the chat if you're not or where you're at?
I have unmuted Didi.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if she's able to speak. She wasn't. Didi and Nanda Madhupurna, are you able to come in?
Should I make sure?
I don't think we need. It's okay. So we didn't realize that it's not so easy for the translators to switch from being translator to actually speaking with the rest of us. We got to figure that out. Very good. I will. I'll try to imagine what Didi was going to tell us. All right. Essentially, it's pretty much what you know already. Didi is coordinating all the teachers and organizing the schedule. So I just want to make that very clear. So each day it's 6 a.m. California time, that's 9 a.m. in New York, and different times all over the world. The most unfortunate are probably the Australians, because it's like midnight or something for them. But it works fairly well for most of the other parts of the world. So every day we start at that time. We'll start with an asana class, 45 minutes. We have some amazing asana teachers. Then we have 45 minutes of kirtan and group meditation. And then we have a 1 hour class, which will usually, most classes will include at least one breakout session. So that's the program 5 days a week. It's, remind me, I think we have 1 day off, that is Saturday. That's completely off, there's no program. And then I think Monday is kind of a half day. It means we have the asanas, yoga class, and then we have group meditation, but we don't have a class. So 5 days a week we have a class. And one of those will be a satsang session. It's just for socializing. So that whole session will be meeting each other, meeting people from different countries, games, sharing ideas and sharing experiences, telling our stories. One idea I had was to actually give everybody a chance to tell their own story of their own spiritual path. If you want, some people are shy, might not want to in the big group, but we'll get a chance to do that at least in the smaller groups. So it's really, we want to take full advantage of this incredible collection of people and give maximum opportunity to get to know one another and really connect with one another. So that is the actual topics. You'll see that in the program you've been sent. And of course, if you go to the original event page, it's got a big list of topics that we're covering. We haven't finished scheduling for June and the first part of July, so that's not posted yet, but that will be. The teachers, a number of the teachers have introduced themselves, not all, because not all of them are with us today, but you will meet everybody. I'm actually one of them. I didn't say anything about what I'm teaching, and one of the reasons is because I don't know. I'm waiting to see what all the other teachers are doing, and then my kind of role is to fill in any gaps in what we kind of promised you. Okay, if I see, we said we'd do this and nobody's covering it, so I'll probably do that. I'm definitely going to be leading some of the satsang kind of social programs. Then, so we have covered tech, we've covered the program briefly. We would really love to know if you have any questions. So if you do, please share them in the chat now, so we've got a chance to ask them. Can be anything, can be about the program, can be about the technology. And the last piece I wanted to do is just briefly introduce our translators. So we have the translation, we threw this together in the last 2 days. Like 3 days ago, we had no idea how we were going to organize translation simultaneously in 3 or 4 languages. As you can see, we are just figuring it out. But I think it's going to work. It seems to be working already. Could we hear from you, Advaita? How's it going? Advaita's helping with translation into Portuguese. But, this is, Advaita, I'm not sure if we can hear you. This is the problem we're having, isn't it? See, your mic is on, but we can't hear you, I think. No. Okay, so we, what's that?
Is it working now? I just
No.
setting a little bit. No.
This is our next technical problem to solve. Okay, we have a couple of some good questions coming. I'll answer those in a moment. So I'm going to introduce the translators, but they can't introduce themselves because we haven't figured out how they can speak in both places. So Advaita is from Brazil, but she lives in Alameda, which is close to San Francisco, and she's completely fluent in both English and Portuguese, so that's perfect. Thank you, Advaita. We'll probably bring in some other translators because it's a difficult job, and you don't want to be translating every session. So we have a number of fluent English speakers amongst the Brazilians. I don't think that will, I know we have, I think 4 translators. I know Lalita's fluent in English. Oh, by the way, nobody else is allowed to be called Lalita. We have Lalita from Vietnam. We have Lalita from Brazil. We have Didi Ananda Lalita translating from to Mandarin. So nobody else is allowed to be called Lalita. Okay, that's enough Lalitas. Too many Lalitas, but Lalita from Brazil is very fluent. She might be ready to help translating as well, but there are others. So from Mandarin, we're just getting that sorted out, but Didi Ananda Lalita will be doing that. Then in Vietnamese today, Lalita has been translating. She's a family Tatvika living there in Vietnam, and she's, I think we have at least 6 or 8 Vietnamese with us. And Didi Ananda's Madhupurna is also a co-host, but she's also interpreter translator for Indonesian, and we have at least 1 other translator in Indonesian. So that's where we are with the languages. I'm going to come to the questions. Questions. If it's technical, I will refer it to you, Priyanka and Trismita. Wait a second.
Dada, we have a couple questions from the chat. The first question is, what is the final objective of the 2-month training?
Okay, the final objective is Sadvipra Samaj. No, okay. No, so the main purpose of this, it's twofold. For all the participants, the purpose is to help you become more deeply established and regular in your spiritual practice, and to deepen your understanding of Ananda Marga philosophy and ideology, both the spiritual philosophy and the social philosophy and the vision of a future spiritual society that our guru wrote about in great depth. So that's the kind of personal learning, inspirational piece. What we're also hoping is that some of you, and I know some of you are already doing this, but we want more people to be inspired to actually dedicate some time and volunteer to help with this mission and with this kind of work. So definitely that's the other objective, is to help to make this real, not just for us to learn, but us to find different ways to work together and to serve the community and take the next step towards creating a spiritual society. Okay, that's that question. What was the next one?
The next question was, will we be meeting on Sundays as well?
Yes, Saturday is the only day off. We are meeting on Saturdays. But one of the days, and I believe it's Monday, or actually I'm not sure. Didi Ananda Madhupurna, can you just type in the chat which of the days is the one when we only have asanas and meditation and no class? I can't remember whether it's Sunday or Monday. Yeah, so there's 5 days with a full program, 1 day with it's shorter, and Saturday is free. I can actually see the chat. I don't need to. I'm just making you work unnecessarily reading me the chat. All right. Are we going to? Sorry. The next question was: are we going to implement Prout at global level as a team? Well, that's a big vision. We would certainly like to. We're trying to create this, kind of energy, collective energy, and inspire people to become more active in Ananda Marga's, spiritual work, social service work, but also in the Prout work. So Prout is the spiritual revolutionary vision of how to really change society and take it in a more spiritual direction. So we certainly want to contribute to that. We don't have a specific objective of, related to the Prout organization, but some people might want to volunteer to work in that area. So that would be relevant. Is it possible for people who didn't register until the deadline to register and join the course? Great question. So as I told you, a week ago, I thought there might be 30 people in this program. We have theoretically, we have well over 100. We haven't closed the registration. And Didi and I were talking about this yesterday, and we are thinking to extend the deadline and probably have a second induction program for the newcomers, but we're going to be more strict with them about admission rules. So originally this was intended for younger people, under 30 ideally, because it's about inspiring a new generation. We haven't been strict about that, but though there are a lot of young, the majority are younger, which is great. We love that. Many of you are second generation in Ananda Marga, or even fourth generation, like these two troublemakers who are managing our technology. Their parents, grandparents, and great parents, at least on one side, have been in Ananda Marga for 4 generations. So we're really happy to see many second generation or more young people in this program. But we might be more strict about the age limit on the new registrations coming in. We've still got to decide that. That's one of on our list of things to do today and tomorrow. Okay, Didi's just updated me. Thank you. So Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, philosophy class. Friday is a satsang program, which is kind of what we're doing today. Okay. And then which day, Didi, is just meditation and, oh, sorry, Monday. Okay. So Monday we have asanas class, meditation, but no class, right? It's all in the program. You've all got a copy of that. All right. It's bedtime in Bali from Bodhishra, who's actually from the US, but he's in Bali. Namaskar. We're closing very shortly. In 5 minutes, we're going to wind down. I just want to make sure there's nothing essential that we haven't covered. Okay, I need to speak more slowly. Thank you. I will try and do that. Oh. Okay, I think we're about to end. I'm muted. Am I unmuted now? How did I get muted? I'm okay. Okay, good. I didn't do that. All right. I just wanted to finish answering these questions in the chat. We missed one, I think. Kamaleshwar, you said you have a guided meditation program on Zoom in 10 minutes. Do you want to say something about that? Can we unmute Kamaleshwar? Italy.
I think he might have dropped off.
Oh, maybe he's not here now. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he mentioned in the chat, you could, I don't know if everybody can see the chat. So that's great.
It should be viewable to everyone.
Okay. So Dada Nabhaniilananda is sharing some things which I don't quite understand. okay, what do I mean by creating Sadvipra Samaj? I was being a little facetious. I was kind of joking. So Sadvipra Samaj means a society, a spiritual society, especially where the leadership are spiritually motivated by universal love. We are a long way from that in at least most countries in the world. I don't think we're going to be able to go from here to there in 2 months with our little group, but we would like to, you know, those of us who organize this, our real vision is to help to make that more likely. Yes, if you just register, that's fine. You can join late, you know, and we've left the registration open at least for now. So if you have friends, this is the last thing I want to say actually. If you have friends who would like to join this training, it is possible, but here are the criteria. And we really want you to take this seriously. 30 years or under. They must be initiated in Ananda Marga and practicing Ananda Marga meditation regularly. Thirdly, they need at least a verbal recommendation of their acharya, their Dada or Didi or their Ananda Marga acharya. And yeah, that's it. Because this is not for beginners. This is for people who are already into meditation and really want to go deeper into it. So we have other programs for beginners. We have many, and we can let you know about those if you want to invite your friends who don't meditate. We'll certainly be sharing those resources with you so you can spread this practice to other people, but this is not for beginners. Okay. So I think we're going to end now. It's time to finish. I just want to say thank you again to everybody who's made this possible. It's a big team. We are looking forward so much to seeing you like every day for the next, almost every day, 6 days a week. Most of you are going to be together. I won't be here every day, but most of you will be. And yeah, huge thanks to everybody who made this possible. Namaskar, everybody. Namaskar, namaskar. You can all say namaskar in the chat. That's great. We're hearing a lot from India. This is great. Mexico, Italy, Indonesia, from Didi and Maripurna. Of course, your mic's not working. Hey, great to see you, Jai. There's another born Magi, second generation. Lalita in Brazil, another born in Ananda Marga. And Australia, you must be late at night for you. So many of you in Brazil, this is amazing. I like Brazil, I've been there many times. All right, so we okay, people are checking out now. I'm going to end this, and thank you all so much. Namaskar, see you soon.
One note, if a few translators can stay on for a couple